Welcome to the first in this series of 5 videos in which we cover debt collection agencies and how best to handle them. So I'm assuming at the start that you've just been contacted by a debt collection agency and you may be frightened, you may not know how to handle the situation, the best thing to do. We've come to the right place because in these short videos we'll cover the starting point and also show you where you can get interactive help on an ongoing basis for free in dealing with the situation. And this first video is just some background information on the industry to help you understand it better. Debt collection agencies are leeches who make no positive contribution whatsoever to society. Now, these companies often have respectable sounding names and they have a letterhead that makes them look like proper businesses, and they can give an image of having power, and they certainly claim to have power which they simply don't have. And many people believe that they're a valid part of the finance industry, that they will chase people who refuse to pay their debts, and they will recover money for people who are genuinely owed money. And none of that is actually true. The finance industry is morally degenerate. What you get is banks and lenders who love to make profits by lending money and getting it paid back with high interest. But when their choice to lend money goes wrong, they will not take responsibility for the business choice that they made. Instead of working with the person who borrowed the money, working with them through the tough period, they will just close the account and they will write it off against tax. They will make the taxpayer as a whole pay for their mistake. Banks and credit card providers want to have their cake and eat it. When something goes right for them, they're more than happy to take the profit, but they will not accept or live by the bad choices they make in lending. They'll just force society as a whole to pay for their mistake. If they make a mistake, the taxpayer pays for it. If banks were prepared to work with people in financial trouble, so many problems could be solved. The finance industry is a drain on society because they make the taxpayer pay for their mistakes. And society should not be paying for those mistakes. The banks should be prepared to live by their own choices and accept the consequences of their own choices. And if they were prepared to work with people in trouble, often those situations can be turned around and the banks, the lenders, would retain the accounts and would actually make further profits down the line if they were prepared to work with people. And the court service provides a means for anyone owed money to seek recompense. There is absolutely no reason for debt collection agencies to exist. The system is there which absolutely anyone, individual or business, can use to regain money that they are genuinely owed. Debt collection agencies have no rational purpose. None. And debt collection agencies thrive on fear. They operate by threatening people, and often these threats have no basis. There's things which cannot be done, which the agency has no power to do. Never ever respond to a debt collection agency threat, because it will almost certainly be a bluff. And debt collection agencies thrive on their victims not knowing their legal rights. So if you get a threat from a debt collection agency, make sure you take time out to study the law, to study your own rights. Make sure that you know what they can and cannot do, and make sure you know what you can and cannot do. Debt collection agencies' threats are nearly always for things they have no power to do. The vast majority of the actions which they threaten are things which they simply cannot in law do, and they will not do. These threats are merely to provoke you into doing something irrational, into giving them more money than you can afford to give, into setting up payment plans which are simply not appropriate to you, or giving them debit card details, or setting up direct debits which are dangerous and inappropriate. Do not respond to threats without finding out what they genuinely have a power to do and what you can do as well. And debt collection agencies cannot enter your home or send in bailiffs. Meaningless threats, again designed to cause fear and panic and to make you do things which you should not be doing. Only courts can appoint bailiffs, and that is only in a case where you have a county court judgment against you and have defaulted on the payments. And even in that extreme case, the bailiffs have no right of entry. Debt collection agencies cannot collect money without your consent. They can do absolutely nothing. They have no powers whatsoever other than to use the same court system that is available to everybody else. So do not be frightened. Do not be scared. Learn your rights within law and act on those rights and not on the threats of the debt collection agencies.